Well, should we get going?
Yeah, let's start.
Should we roll?
Yeah, let's roll. Let's roll.
One of the things I wanted to share with you guys, and then we'll. I'm sure Chuck has. I think he's got an idea of something to talk about too. But I was reading a book. I was on an airplane the other day, and I was sitting by this guy, this older gentleman, and talkative. Good God. Talkative, and I was kind of going, man, I've got. It was a Sunday night. I had stuff to do for Monday morning, for when I came in here, and things I want to talk to you guys about. And I'm trying to get some stuff done on the airplane on Sunday evening, and he's like jabbering away, and it turns out though he's really an experienced guy, and he goes, oh man, you know what? One of my favorite books. And everybody has a favorite book. And it's like, oh my God, how many books can one person read? But he recommended this book. It's called Driving Force by Peter Schutz, and he was a former CEO of Porsche. And I thought, okay, well, I like Porsches, and I know that they had some turbulence back when, and they kind of pulled their bacon out of the fire. And today they set sales right. They're really doing quite well. And anyway, so I ordered his book. So I ended up, when I come across somebody who I end up respecting and they suggest something, one of the things I'm thankful that I do is act. And I ordered the book, and it showed up. I forgot I'd ordered it. Of course, it shows up, and I was reading it over the weekend. And one of the things that struck me is all kinds of little stories, but he was talking about going over to an engineer, one of the Porsche engineer's house. And he walked in the house, and in the entryway of the house, the guy's an engineer, so he likes to tinker and build stuff. It's an old-fashioned slot machine, a nickel slot machine. And the Porsche guy is greeted at the door. He sees the slot machine. The guy goes, oh, yeah, feel free. I rehabbed the thing. It works perfectly. And it's an old nickel machine. And there was a bowl of nickels sitting next to it. And he said, here's the deal. If you use my nickels, anything that you win is mine. If you use your own nickels, anything that you win is all yours. And I thought, wow, isn't that kind of how life goes? And the opportunity that we have, if we've got this machine, it's all set up to rock and roll, and we choose to use our own nickel and experiment and do different things and invest our time and with no guarantee that it's ever going to pan out, except that we have confidence in the machine and the people and that sort of thing. But boy, what an opportunity to hit the jackpot, and some of the guys on this call have. And I think it's an interesting opportunity, I guess we'll call it here, because you don't have to hope that you win the lottery or hope that all cherries come up in a line and you get the jackpot. You can create your own lottery. You can create your own jackpot, and it's all here. I thought what an interesting thing to, what a fun little story, and what an interesting connection that. Anyway, hope you appreciate that and run through the day and use that as some sort of, you replay the story for somebody, and anybody who's risking their own nickel sure deserves to win the jackpot, and I think that's why we're all here. So anyway, with that, we can launch into this. Chuck, you were going to bring up a case study or something, weren't you? What were you going to?
Well, we're always, I think one of the, you look at the progression of the life of an agent or an advisor, someone in this industry, or really any outside kind of sales situation, and we all know our model because we talk about it constantly about, we start with our warm market, we start with people that we do business with, we go to friends that may not be buying what we're selling, but they have access to people who they would buy and would give you a listen, and that runs its course. And what I mean by run the course, that runs at whatever level that you're able to push that to, and getting referrals and adding it. And there's some people that just want to kickstart it a little faster. And we were talking this morning with some of the agent directors, and we're talking about what are the real successful guys doing out there in addition to that. Because I think there becomes a point where, it's nice to have a couple of sources of referrals coming in. And, there's a lot of networking groups out there like BNI Networking and Meetup. And, I think those are a lot of things that agents aren't exploring that they could. And I know with BNI, from what I understand, and I'm not a member today, but a lot of our agents are and get a lot of business out of that. what they do is they allow people to join the group, and only one person from each industry. You'll have one mortgage guy, you'll have one insurance sales guy, you'll have one Visa MasterCard, one, the flooring guy or whatever. But the nice thing about that is these groups, and if you haven't explored them, and I know there's some folks on the call that are in these, and hopefully we can hear from them and they can add what they've seen happen. But you immediately have access to relationships. And it's a quid pro quo kind of deal. They want your business, you want their business. So really explore, and they're all over. I mean, I think there's a lot of what I would recommend doing, and I've heard from some other advisors is that get on and look for local networking groups. And I know John at one time did Toastmasters years ago, met a lot of people with Toastmasters. Rotary is a great organization to get involved with because what did we figure, John? 60 to 70% of Rotarians are business owners, or they can influence where whomever they're working with the process.
Well, there's something like there's like 1.3 million Rotarians around the country, and about a third of them, or a fourth or a third, or whatever it is, reside here in the United States. And Rotary's an interesting organization because if you join and become a member, it's not really like Chamber of Commerce where you pay dues and become a member. Rotary's a little bit different in that if you get in just to network, they'll throw your ass out because they do not want that at all, and they'll look down on you for that. So if you're going to, the better way to approach Rotary is they're always looking for somebody to speak. And Chuck's right. About 2/3 are business owners. The other third are things like the mayor, the school principal, people like that. And out of those 2/3 that are business owners, about a half of those are people who would probably be very open to talking to you about the give back, and Rotary being a recipient. So one of the things you can do is if you contact your local Rotary club, not necessarily to join it, but to be a speaker. They're always looking for somebody to talk about stuff. And it's almost like usually they're really looking for somebody to come in and talk. So you just come in and talk about, hey, here's how the Visa MasterCard world works, because most people don't really understand. And like
EMD is a great topic right now too. I mean, you could get in with Rotary clubs today and go, look, I just want to make sure everybody's secure for EMD or smart card that's coming. You've got a wonderful topic to get in front of them. But there's something that people aren't real educated about today. So there's a wonderful, and they love the security aspect of it.
Oh man, yeah, because if you look at Rotarians, they're really good, solid people in the community wherever they are. They're very civic-minded. They've been in business for a while. It's not the first trip to the rodeo. They've been in business for a while. They're going to be in business longer. They've got solid business going, and nobody knows. Really, nobody, meaning 99.5% of all merchants don't really understand what this chip and pin thing is, and it's coming. It's the way they've been doing it in Europe for as long as I've been going to Europe. Well, that's not true, at least the last 10 years. And that's coming, and nobody really knows what it is unless you travel to Europe and tried to use your card, and it doesn't work, and they go, oh, you're American. You need to do this a little bit different. So it would be a great topic because they're always looking for something that's real and good, and it's not necessarily that you're there doing a sales job, but you're there giving information, and it's a great way to kind of merge into that. So that's a good one. BNI, Chuck talked about BNI groups. There's these other, there are things like Chamber of Commerce where you can jump in and they expect you to ask each other for business. So yeah, good topic, good place.
Yeah, very good topic. So, anyway, so keep so be thinking about that. Just you become really, I think, in any sales position like this, or you're an entrepreneur or intrapreneur, however you want to phrase it, or whatever. But I mean, you're building your own machine. You're building your network. Like John said, you want the jackpot, or do you want someone else to have it? When you're an employee for someone else is kind of getting the jackpot. So you're building your own, and part of that, I think, is really just networking yourself out. There's a couple, look for organizations in your area. There's a couple ideas of who to approach, and it's great to have those things working in conjunction with basically our process, our model of my ABC targets. And what you'll see is that database of potential customers will grow exponentially the more you get out there, more scenarios you get involved with. The more people that you know, the more people you know. What's Harvey McKay say about your network, John?
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a guy who's worth I don't know, at least 100 million, who started from zero, and he says, if he has a quote too that quote. This is what he told me one day. He goes, you know what, John? He said, if I lost everything, I could be exactly back where I am within 3 years, as long as I still had my network. And it's like, man, so your network's worth $100 million. You know, a lot of people go through life never having a network, and it's something to build. And it's interesting. My network still sends me business, though I don't cultivate my network to get Visa MasterCard deals. My job is a lot different today than it used to be. But my network still sends. Over the last week, I had 2 that came in that said, hey, I've got this. One is a moving company. There's a golf course. And it's like I didn't do anything. They came to me, but it's because I built it over time, and then it just produces for you.
And then it grows and grows. So anyway, that's really the message I had. I don't know if John, you have anything to add. Now we just want to kind of open it up. I know you guys. What I love about having such a wonderful team, and I'm glad you guys are on our team, is that there's so many different things going on out there, and it's different. Everybody's got a little different bottleneck. A lot's the same, but we're going to open up for you guys, and standard rules apply. Just state your name and where you're calling from, and we'd love to hear from you.
Well, Chuck, this is Cam, and
hey, Cam.
What you guys are talking about is perfect, because what I have done is I have really 3 tiers in my network, so to speak. The associations that I work are one of those tiers. Then with the chambers of commerce that I work with is another tier, and then the third one is the fact that I'm in 2 informal networking groups, but they are business to business folks, usually in the financial area. So that and they're populated with lawyers and accountants and insurance people, whether that's life insurance or property and casualty, and it's very effective. And these people are, when they refer you, they're putting their reputation on the line, saying Cam Higgins is a guy that will take care of you. I'm familiar with the work he does, and you ought to give him a listen. And those kinds of leads are invaluable. And then you might not make a sale today, but it's something that's in your network and in your pipeline that you're going to be able to close down the road sometime.
Well, and how many deals, Cam, have you had where you've cultivated those over like several months? You've met someone, they just weren't ready yet, but you do a freaking phenomenal job of staying on top or staying in contact with folks and building that. So, but I think you said it best, your pipeline. You got to shove a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, this is Brian here from Iowa. There really isn't a better feeling than when somebody sends you business in that way as well. It's quite a compliment, actually.
Well, yeah, it says a lot about you, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? It says a lot that this person respected you enough to go, you know what, here's, Brian, or here's Cam, call this guy, he can help you out. Because a lot of those accounts, and you know what, this is what that I think newer agents struggle getting their minds around a little bit, is that the people that, like when you get referrals like that, the businesses that are getting referred to you, you just don't go out and get those. I mean, you just don't go knock on their – these people are busy. These people are super successful. They don't take a sales guy that just knocks on the door or calls out of the blue and handle it. What they do is they understand the whole networking concept. So what they do is they go to someone they know and go, hey, do you know someone that does credit card processing? So you're getting access to a whole different league of merchant that the normal guy couldn't even get to, because these guys only work one way. And that's where the margins are. That's where the money is, and that's where the longevity in those relationships sits. Is because these people just don't. They're not switchaholics. They're not switching all the time. So would you guys agree that they're better quality of merchants when you get them that way than if you were just a do some standard kind of cold call?
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
They're
Definitely.
established businesses. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
The best accounts I have all came that way.
Right.
And
that's the thing.
Where an insider brings you in, and that is really where all the money is.
John did something last week, and I thought it was really, and I laughed and I go, yeah, no shit. It's kind of like if you've ever seen the movie Cocoon, where they like pull their eyelid to the side and the bright light flashes out. It's kind of like when you get a referral. It's kind of like that. You go, oh, you're one of us. And again, those are more established, long-term, more profitable kind of relationships. And as Brian just said, the best merchants I ever got came in that way. So, yeah, I appreciate that because you guys both do that extremely, extremely well. So thank you for adding that. What other things you guys got going up? Go ahead. Someone else say something. Oh. What you guys, are you running into any bottlenecks or things that you don't understand that would be something to talk about in this format?
No? if I were new, I think I would ask Cam and Brian if they're new people on the call. Both Cam and Brian have been around for years. They've written hundreds of accounts, and really, if it were me, I think I might pump these guys for info because I'd be wondering, well, how the hell did they do that? Who did they target? What exactly did they say? How do they get in? How many meetings does it take? What kind of business do you get out of it? I'd be pumping these guys because where else how are you gonna get a hold of them otherwise?
Yeah,
this is Ted Lowe in Atlanta, and I had the opportunity to speak with Cam last week on the phone with Chad, and we had a very good conversation that was very helpful. Cam was very open to having one-on-one conversations with me. He invited me to give him a call in the next week or so. We're in the same market, but we kind of focus in two different directions. But it's a wealth of information talking to a guy like Cam, and he just shared it with you when he broke down his three-tier strategy. The associations, Chamber of Commerce, and then these informal networking groups. So that was extremely helpful to me, and I'm looking forward to implementing some of the ideas I got from you, Cam, and then catching up again with you in the next week or so.
Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to us talking and getting together and sharing some ideas and helping you become successful in this. I envy you that you're a young guy that has got a great future in this and can make themselves an incredible amount of money.
Excellent. Wow. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much for that, guys. And like John said, I'd say Cam and Brian they're well into combined over 1,000 deals. So they've seen a lot of stuff, and you can hear it from John and I, but I don't deliver it near as well as those guys do. But they're living it, and they're doing it, and they're making.
No, that
it
ain't true. Listen, there are no two guys like you and John in this
business.
God.
And
man, this is turning into a love fest now.
Hell, I'm telling the truth. We're very fortunate to be associated with you guys and to know that you can really make $1 jillion in this business, and because you guys have done it. And you did it the hard way, and the smart way as well. We're very fortunate to be associated with you.
Well, I think that's a two-way street.
And I mean that very, very, very strongly.
I'll send you your check later. Thank you.
Good.
No, I'm kidding. Anyway, well, you guys have heard some really good ideas from guys that are really out there doing it and doing it to a high level. Go ahead. Someone else is going to ask something.
Yes, my name is Terrence, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm new. Hey, and thank you. I heard something earlier on how to approach the Rotary clubs, and you guys mentioned a topic that we could go in and speak on. And could you help me maybe understand a little bit more about why that topic is so important?
Yeah, well, security is a big thing nowadays, as I think we all know. The more technologically advanced we get, the more security I think needs to be in place. People tap into, merchant accounts and steal credit card numbers. You can think of, I think TJ Maxx was probably the biggest, first, most public company that was broken into. What were the other ones?
Right.
Target. Wasn't Home Depot broke into?
Yeah.
And and those are the ones that make the news because they're huge. What you don't hear about is the thousands upon thousands of the everyday Joe business owner, the small to medium-sized business owners that make up 99.9% of our portfolio. You don't hear those stories. And because you don't hear those stories, these guys don't know that much about security. They don't know what they should know. And and the point to that is that Rotary clubs are they're trying to bring value to their members too. They're civic organization. They're trying to raise funds for different causes. And they want to bring value to their members. And what a wonderful thing to bring. It's something that explains and helps them become more secure on their merchant side. And it helps them come up with the topic.
And did you call that EMB?
EMB, yeah. Or smart
EMB?
card, chip and pin. Yeah, chip and pin is probably, I guess, smart card, chip and pin is what most merchants will know it as. And get with your agent director and go, look, if I want to put something together to go talk to them, we'll help structure something for you. But what a great topic.
I have to go ahead on and give a huge shout-out to my agency director because I'm sitting here in front of my email, and he just emailed me EMV questions. So my agency director is Bill Swindlehurst, and he's pretty awesome.
He's a good guy. I'm glad. Thank you.
Yeah,
we'll be sure to tell him that you said that.
Yeah. He just sent me an email as I'm asking this question, so he's on top of it.
He's on his game, man. He's a good guy, so that's good. I appreciate hearing that. But so use that. Hopefully you can use that, get into some of these deals. And that's just not Rotary. I mean, that's chamber. Right. That's any real organization. I mean, you could even do that with an association that has members that are merchant processing members. Whether it's a dental association or something of that nature. So it's one of those things that's kind of one of those deals that you need to deal with, but no one really wants to. So it gives you an opportunity.
It's a great door. It's a great door opener right now.
I just sent him a screenshot of what I pulled up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I thought it was on me.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, our guys are great, but no one knows how to work a phone here. So it's awesome. No.
and I do have one last question.
Yeah.
Because of some time I spent on the commercial development authority of the city I live in, obviously in commercial development it's about bringing businesses to your municipality. So I still have some relationships there. And can our company handle, like for instance, we spent some time talking to a Publix and also a Burger King about coming to our city. So if I was actually able to go in and get a contact person for a Publix or a Burger King, can we actually let's say I met a guy that owned 15 Burger King. Can we handle that? If I go in and get the contact person and send that information to you, can we turn that around?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. I'm just new, so I just wanted to ask that question because I don't want to go in there and ask for something that we can't do. But if we can do it, then I'm going to walk in that door and ask for it.
Right. Well, let me give you some advice, though. If you can take it or do what you want with it, or what I learned early on in this business is that and I've written a lot of elephants and a lot of big deals, have made a ton of money, but a majority of the business that I wrote, and I think I can speak for the other guys on the call too, knowing their portfolios, where you're going to make your money is not these big elephants. Where you're going to make your money are these small to medium-sized merchants. So that's where your bread and butter is for a couple of reasons. One, if God forbid something happened and the merchant leaves you, it's much easier to lose one merchant than it is a merchant that's a big elephant. And, so you want to keep that. Plus, the sales cycle for a big elephant takes so long. What happens with a lot of newer guys when they come in is they can't sustain living until that big elephant comes to fruition. So, I would focus on like Cam's three-prong approach is awesome, and I know it's awesome because I see the guy making a lot of sales, making a lot of money doing it. Stick with the ABCs. Who do you know personally? I would start there, get more fluent in the industry, and then you can kind of throw on the back burner some of those big elephants.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. And Cam, you were saying one other thing. You said it's a great topic. You're seeing huge success with it.
Well, the EMV is a great topic now. I've been using it really to sell equipment in the last month or so, but it's a great door opener with a new guy or gal who's out there in the field. That you're talking about something that a lot of people really are not aware of, and the big thing to a business owner is not the fact that it's a security thing. It's the fact that this particular piece of equipment that he's using or she's using right now is going to be obsolete in all probability in the next 6 months.
Yeah, it's
and it ain't going to work anymore.
Right. You know, it's not going to work for the security they'll need.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, yeah, these terminals are becoming, end of life, guys, and I mean, I would say that maybe 10-15% of the merchants in our country have upgraded. So that means that there's 80 to 85% merchants out there who need to, their terminals are coming to end of life, and they need to upgrade. What a great way to get in and strike the conversation with them. So, so either, and in the FFUSA University, we talk about chip and pin. We talk about this stuff in there to give yourself the ammunition you need to get in and broach those conversations, and Cam certainly gives us a lot of good stuff there. So, all right, guys, you've been really phenomenal. Thank you for everything.
Can I say something, Chuck?
Yeah, go ahead. Ray?
Yeah, it's Mark McCarthy calling.
Oh, Mark, I didn't hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to mention about the chip and pin. You got to be very careful. If I were you, I'd go in and talk to them personally. A lot of people have been calling on the phone, calling my merchants and telling them there's a lot of guys out there, rip-off artists with the chip and pinch. You got to be very careful. In this business, you need to be careful anyways, but because there's a lot of bad people out there. But this chip and pin, a lot of people have been calling around, and some of the clients are weary about it. So if you don't know them and you're just going to call them on the phone, I'm going to tell you you're going to have a hard time. The other thing is getting back to the Burger King thing. I just wanted to mention to him. A lot of it's good that you go into Burger King. That's a great thing. You're going to go in there and you're going to ask them, but be aware that a lot of these Burger Kings have deals with, directly with First Data and directly with these other companies. So, like Chuck said, your main stuff should be, your middle of the road stuff and your lower stuff, and you'll make your money and you'll keep your clients, and that's how you secure your residuals for years to come. Obviously, those deals are great, but you have to realize when you go in, you have to know that, it's like, I would say it's not as far as hitting the lottery, but you need to just get lucky, and the numbers have to be right. But a lot of the Burger Kings and the supermarkets, different things like that, they already have deals in place that are they do 150 stores, 500 stores, and they have one deal, and they're in that deal. So go in with an open mind, but realize that your chances aren't good.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I wanted to say. I'm not trying to put you down or anything.
No, you're not. But I think
you guys are just being real. As a matter of fact, I'm a licensed life insurance agent, so it's the same concept. Instead of always trying to go after the hugest guy in the city, go after really solid business people. So I appreciate what you're saying. It's just real world.
I'm the worst at it. I'm in the worst because I go after the giant one. So I'm not saying nothing. Keep going, but.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, I got it. I just wanted to let you know. But the chip and pin, and I know Cam was talking about and everything else. It's awesome. I mean, and you can sell the machine and stuff, but be careful because there's a lot of people. There's been a lot of phone calls, and you can go in there if you know the people. It's good because then you can explain to them these people have been calling you. And you can tell them, give them the skinny on it, and they'll like you for it. And then you give them straightforward information, But if you're just going in off the cuff, be very careful. That's all.
Yep. Exactly right. Awesome. All right, guys. You know what? Thanks a lot. Excellent call today. Appreciate all the input. You guys are awesome. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. And let's get out there, and we're starting the second half of the month, and let's end it strong. And we'll see you guys next week.